Coffee and Convo, y'all. Let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody here in the building. Welcome to the latest installment of Coffee and Convo. I am your host, Graphk Raider, man. Salute to everybody here already in the building, man. You guys could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be right here with me this very moment. I salute you guys. Salute the top beats, man. SinCal, Raider Reese, Max. I see you guys, man. Atticus, Joe Nation. Salute to number one, Geo, Raider for life, all my people in the building, man. Make sure you guys wipe them feet, meaning hit them thumbs up. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button, man. I appreciate you guys. We're on our way to 21K. Can't do it without you guys. I see Raider Dame, my brother LV Maximus, my sis Erica Ramos in the building. Salute, salute, salute. Going to talk about a few things here, you guys. This is not going to be a very long Coffee and Convo. Just want to talk about the running back position. Backup running back position. Everyone knows up to this point we have been struggling mightily to get the running game going, whether it's the O-line or Josh Jacobs. It has just not worked the first 2 weeks. And looking at Pittsburgh's defense last night, man, we're in for a nice game come Sunday night, you guys. This is not going to be a game that we're just going to go into Allegiant Stadium and run these guys over. That defense is for real. I know they had a few, They had a few Cleveland ran the ball effectively last night. Let's just say that outside of, even Chubb did. And prayers to Chubb, you guys. Nick Chubb, for those who don't know, he had a very, very, very bad knee injury last night. And it looks as though, man, I believe he had the same injury in 2015. It looks as though he's in for a long, long journey if he wants to return back to the NFL. It sucks, man. If you guys watched that game last night, his leg literally went backwards. It was disgusting, man. His knee is all kind of damaged right now. But they did have the young kid, I believe it's Jerome Ford, come in. He had a hell of a game on the ground for Cleveland. I was going to talk about Kareem Hunt, but at this point, you guys, I do believe that Kareem Hunt probably will go back to Cleveland. I mean, he knows the system up there. He's from Ohio. I mean, it's just the easy kind of, go get him, put him into the lineup, get him rolling. So I was going to do a quick video on why I believe Kareem Hunt would be a great addition to this team. But at this point, it looks as though he may go back to Cleveland. And it just makes all the sense in the world with Nick Chubb out. Once again, prayers to Nick Chubb. Real fast as well, I want to say salute to my brother, Franklin Skinner, man. He put up a phenomenal article, you guys, on planetraiders.com this morning. If you get a chance to go over to Planet Raiders and check it out, man. Salute to my dog, Franklin, man. Let's get it. I'm going to show you guys something real quick. Shout out to a friend of the show, a friend of the channel, my guy, Jordan Schultz. He did put something up on Twitter today, you guys, and I'm going to read this right now. Boom. Several teams have checked in with the Rams about a potential Cam Akers trade, including the Buccaneers, which they need a running back, the Ravens as well, with Dobbins going down, the Raiders, and the Browns, among others. We all know why the Browns are looking for a running back at this point. It's still possible Akers gets released, which I do believe that's going to happen. I don't know if anyone wants to trade for that contract at this point. Akers gets released, salary reasons, but the team is actively shopping him, and he's more than likely played his last game there. Akers had 3 consecutive 100-plus yard rushing games with 3 TDs to close out the season. coming out of Florida State, I thought that Cam Akers was going to be one of the best backs in the league. It really just has not worked in his favor up to this point. But in his career, he's played in 30 games. He's rushed the ball 360 times. He has 1,443 yards in his career with 10 touchdowns. Last year, he did have a career year, you guys. In 2022, he had 786 rushing yards to go along with, I believe, what was it, 8 touchdowns? I believe it was 8 touchdowns. No, 7 touchdowns in 2022. So there you have it. We need a true running back 2 at this point, you guys. Amir White is not the guy. Maybe you can part ways with the late round pick to go get Cam Akers at this point and take on that contract. Me personally, I would rather use that money to go get, a defense. But I'd play the waiting game here. One of these other teams may be a little more desperate. The Ravens, they're 2-0. They look like they're fighting, to be a Super Bowl contender. You know what I mean? So they can use another running back. Maybe they get desperate and offer something and take on that contract. Me personally, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to wait and see if they do cut him. And then at that point, maybe I would take a look at Cam Akers. I think that this would be a great addition to the team, you guys. He's only 24 years old. Even if the Rams said, you know what, give us Amir White, take Cam Akers, I would do that right now in a heartbeat. I would. But what do you guys potentially think about going out and trading for Cam Akers or playing the waiting game and wait until he's released, which I think he will be, and take a shot at him as a true running back 2. We need some help at the running back position badly. Josh Jacobs has not gotten it going yet. And Zamir, man, look, you guys, he's played in 16 games up to this point in his career. He has 94 yards on the ground in that small amount of time. You know what I'm saying? He does have a long of 22 last year, but no TDs yet up to this point. He has 22 attempts for 94 yards. He has not gotten it done. He fumbled, in this blowout against Buffalo. I just don't think that Zamir has what it takes to get it done at the next level. You know what I mean? So I would definitely be looking at a running back 2. Me personally, I would love to bring Sincere McCormick off the practice squad. I do believe in the young kid. You guys know, you guys think I'm Zamir's agent at this point, but I would love to see what we have with him. You know what I mean? So there's no real need to trade or part ways with the late round pick to pick up another salary like Cam Akers. I mean, there really isn't any reason. You got a UDFA sitting on the practice squad, which costs you nothing. Just bring him up. But I have no problem looking at Cam Akers because we need some help desperately at the running back position. But like I said before, I'd rather keep it in-house and just see what we have with Sincere McCormick at this point. Salute to everybody here in the building, man. But yes, Jordan Schultz has come out today and said that several teams have checked in with the Rams. The Rams have another really good young running back over there that's running the ball effectively for those guys right now. He has been a dog. Actually, I just inserted him into my fantasy football league right now, into my starting lineup, because the dude has been balling. He carved up the Niners defense, and he looked great in week 1 as well. So I think it's about time they move on from Cam Akers. It makes all the sense in the world. But what do you guys think about this? Once again, Jordan Schultz has put it out there that several teams have checked in with the Rams about a potential Cam Akers trade. The Buccaneers, the Ravens, which need a running back with Dobbins out for the season, the Browns as well with Nick Chubb out for the season, which I do believe that Kareem Hunt will return back to the Cleveland Browns. Salute to Max. I think we're pulling the plug on Zeus too early. We can't say he hasn't gotten it done if he hasn't had an opportunity to get it done. Well, and I agree with you. It's just with what he's done up to this point with his reps, Max, I don't really see too much from Zeus. You know what I mean? I don't. To me, he's not an explosive running back. He has a problem with his vision. I just don't see him getting better. I don't. Me personally, maybe he does with more reps. I don't know, but I'd rather personally pull the plug on Zeus and bring Sincere McCormick, a guy that, to me, I watched him in college, man. Playmaker, man. I want to see what he can do. Shout out to Richard. He says bars would have create lanes. And I know you're talking about Greg Van Rotten. He played very rotten, no pun intended, this past week. But Alex Bars was really good in the run game. Couldn't get done in pass pro, Rich. And I believe we're going to talk about that later on on the phone call show. Stay tuned for that. I know a lot of people are talking about Alex Bars at this point now with Greg Van Roten getting torched this past Sunday. Let me see. I believe, look, I understand you guys. We could use some defense, and there's some names that I know a lot of people are throwing around right now. The Aaron Donalds of the world, which the Rams look pretty good at this point. So maybe they're playing for something. I don't know yet. I do not know yet. I have no idea. They may be playing for something. So at that point, Aaron Donald is not an option. I know a lot of people, we talked about DeForest Buckner. I know a lot of people are talking about Budda Baker potentially coming in to help save that safety position, but I don't think the Raiders are going to do that. I don't think they want to take that contract on. I would love to have a top 3, top 4 safety on this roster, but I believe they're going to start inserting Polamalu into certain situations at the safety position, and I think we're going to start seeing Chris Smith here soon as well, with Merrick playing terrible up to this point. He looked bad this past Sunday, and I think that they're starting to see that Merrick is just not going to get it done. Marcus Epps looked really good for us, but I want to see Polamalu. I want to see Chris Smith before we go out and trade a bunch of trade capital, potential draft capital, and all that other stuff to take on that contract. Would I love to have Budda Baker? Definitely. But he's on the IR now. They placed Budda. When did they do that? Let me see this. Hold on. When did they place him on the IR? Holy shit. Expected. Okay, so he's expected to return from IR in 2023. Damn, I didn't see that, you guys. Shout out to the chat. Let me see. It sounds like Baker's injured reserve stint isn't season ending, avoiding tearing the muscle. He's going to miss some time, but he'll be back. He'll get ready to go out here pretty soon and get ready to roll. So it doesn't sound like it's too serious. Let me see. Shout out to Elite. I don't think there will be any full-on moves until they see what they have in their with their other guys on the roster. Elite, I agree. I don't think that. Look at up to this point, Elite. Amir Abdullah. He's only being utilized in the passing game. This guy is not a guy that they use as a back. They use him in the passing game. Haven't seen Brandon Bolden out there. It's just been Josh in a few reps here and there from Zeus. They're not utilizing anyone at the running back position outside of Josh Jacobs at this point. So I feel like we need a true running back too that can actually run the ball effectively. That's why I'm not against going out to get Cam Akers if he is cut. If he is cut, we bring him back in, on an inexpensive deal. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, they're not utilizing anyone else in the run game. It's only Josh Jacobs in literally a few reps here and there with Zeus. Let me see. Salute to Soul Assassin. Docs, that Steelers defense is no joke, and special teams as well. Yeah, this is not going to be an easy game to just go out there and run over these Pittsburgh Steelers at all. George Pickens is a superstar in the making. Their quarterback is, Pickett's getting it together. He still looks, but he's getting it together. It's going to take some time for him to put it all together, but Pickens looks phenomenal out there. They will not have Cameron Hayward. They will not have Deontay Johnson. And then Mika Fitzpatrick also, you guys, went out with an injury. I believe it was a chest injury on that play where Nick Chubb went out. So he was questionable last night, didn't return. I don't know what that means for them in terms of Sunday night, but it is a short week for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's something to monitor moving forward with Mika Fitzpatrick. You know what I'm saying? Look, that's a superstar safety. And without him, Deontay Johnson and Cam Hayward, that is a major, major blow to that defensive side of the ball if potentially Mika Fitzpatrick is not playing. But they still have TJ Watt. That is a guy that is definitely going to go out there and ball out for that defense. He is a game changer. He's probably, if not one, number 2 best defensive player in the league. You know what I'm saying? So we still got some guys that we have to keep an eye on over there in that Pittsburgh defense, man. Mike Tomlin always has those guys ready to go on the defensive side of the ball. Salute to Max, man. What if we bring in Carlos Dunlap, only 30 years old, at the defensive end position to help out Max? I talked about that the other day. I actually spoke about that a few times. Max, I don't know, if we're going to do that. And he's not 30. He's 34 years old. So he's really, really, really like in the twilight of his career. He'd be lucky to get one more year at this point. He's 34 years old. But I believe he did have 4.5 sacks last year for the Kansas City Chiefs in that Super Bowl year. And I think he had about 8, maybe 8.5 the year prior in Seattle with that split season between them and Cincinnati. So it would be a sneaky pickup. It'd be cheap, inexpensive at this point to go get a guy like Carlos Dunlap because he can get to the quarterback for you at least a few times a season. But it's definitely something to look at, but he is 34 years old. Salute to my dog, Max. Shout out to Frank. Zeus might need to put on goggles like Eric Dickerson. Crazy. Salute to Isaac. Yes, Adams will be playing. He is cleared. He passed concussion protocol. He's good to go. So he will be playing this weekend. Let me see. Yeah, man, good stuff. You're not lying, bro. The D-line is definitely the worst part. But, it's crazy. We can say that, right? But the offense has been terrible. Good stuff. They've been terrible. We can go over a few stats here if you guys want to, but I think we're 30th right now in terms of, let me bring these stats up. I wrote some stuff down in my notes real quick. But, yeah, it don't look too good for that offense. Yeah, the defensive line hasn't been doing anything, but the offense hasn't getting it done. I mean, 17 points in week 1, 10 last week. The offense has been shitting the bed. Let me see. Trying to find these stats real quick, you guys. All right, total yards per game. We're 30th with 250.5. Passing yards per game, we're 21st with a 192.5. Points per game, 13.5. We are tied for 29th on the offensive side of the ball. And then rushing yards per game, 30th with 58 per game. So, yeah, the defensive line has been bad, but the offense has been shit. Offense has been shit. They have not been able to get it done at all. And then looking at the offensive line as well, these guys are struggling. You know what I mean? Dylan Parham has struggled. Our tight end room has struggled. Shit, let's just keep it a buck. Our wide receivers outside of Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers have struggled. So, we got to get it together on the offensive side of the ball. We do, man. Let me see. Samuel, you answer that for me because he played. He looked like shit, but he played. Byron Young has not been able to get it done at this point with the reps that he's been given. And I'm not saying that Byron Young has been out there a lot. It's been Bilal Nichols and Tillery and the veterans and Adam Butler and John Jenkins that I've seen the most out there. But, I mean, Byron Young hasn't done anything with those few reps that he's been out there with. He's still struggling. You know what I mean? So he's definitely at this point not ready right now, at least. It's going to take some time for him to develop, hopefully. Been paid. There's no word on Jacoby Myers yet. I believe Josh McDaniels on his presser the other day said something along the lines of he's getting there. You know what I mean? So at this point, I wouldn't be shocked if Jacoby Myers is questionable come Sunday night. You know what I mean? So, but we shall see. Hopefully he's ready to go because we're going to need all hands on deck against this stingy Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Shout out to Gio, man. The Ziegler draft classes are actually looking really bad right now. Are we getting anything from this recent class outside of Jacorian? I just said this the other day. I think that this draft class is going to be really, really good down the line. I think it's going to take some time, for these guys to get it together, but you're getting nothing out of Tyree Wilson, your first round pick. You're getting nothing out of Michael Mayer at this point, your second round pick. You're getting nothing out of Byron Young, your third round pick. Trey Tucker, we finally brought him in. I think he had one rush for 34 yards or something like that. We're starting to get him, involved in the offense, but really haven't gotten anything out of Trey Tucker up to this point either. Let's just keep it a buck. So yes, Amari Burney has not been active. Nesta Jade has not been active. Aiden O'Connell is the emergency quarterback. So yeah, Chris Smith, not active. So yeah, Gio, I mean, look, I know these guys like their veterans and they're trying to bring these guys on slowly but surely. They don't want to just throw all their rookies out there. But I'm going to be real, man. I think it's time to get Chris Smith out there. Trayvon Merrick is not getting it done at the safety spot. I want to see what him and Marcus Epps look like, that 1-2 punch. It's time to get Bernie out there. I've loved what Devon Diablo and Spillane has done up to this point, but I want to see him get allocated. Like I said before, even if it's in the special teams, get him out there and get him accustomed to the speed of the game. Nesta Jade, it's time to fully pull him off the practice, pull him out there and make him active. Put him out there, man. We need a young, energetic, feisty dog like him on the D line. Maybe he, changes the tide for us at the defensive tackle position, but it's time to bring Nesta Jade out. Definitely, man. So at this point, I agree with you, Gio. I agree with you. And they haven't hit on anybody up to this point. Parham has not looked anywhere near what he looked like last year. Zeus has played terrible. Mumford has just only been out there here and there. I like Mumford, though. I love the pickup. Don't get me wrong. Matthew Butler, bust at this point. Neil Farrell is no longer with this team. Yeah. Britton Brown, IR. So up to this point, you guys, let's just keep it real, in which I'm being very patient because they're rookies. Bust at this point. Both draft classes have not been great for us at all by any stretch. But when it comes to drafting players, you guys, we have to be a little more patient with some of these guys. Jacorian, he's been out there and he's gonna take his L's here and there too. He's a rookie, still trying to figure out the game. I was watching some tape on him, and I was seeing some guys breaking some film down on him on Twitter. And there's been a lot of times where he's out there and, on these wide receivers breaks, it's like he's falling and tripping all over the place. So Jacorian's, he's going to have his bumps and bruises in year one, but I like that they're at least getting him out there early and getting him used to the game, because I think that Jacorian is still going to be a very, very big part of our future. I know that Parham's not a rookie, Sean. I'm talking about our sophomore class and our rookie class combined. I'm not saying that Parham's a rookie. I think I know a little bit, brother, about this team. So yeah, salute to Sean. Junior, man, shout out to my dog. Cam Akers and Aaron Donald for a first, second, sixth, even Renfro and Zeus White, if that's even enough for a number 2 running back in AD. I think they're going to hold on to AD a little bit longer. We'll see rumblings of AD at the trade deadline if the Rams look like shit. You know what I mean? They've been really playing well. You know what I mean? Like, they played the Niners very close in that game, and then they beat Seattle in week 1. So I don't know if they're ready to just throw everything out the window. Up to this point, they're doing all this without Cooper. You know what I mean? Without Cooper Kupp. So maybe they just hold on to this and see. But Cam Akers is definitely someone that they're trying to get rid of. But Aaron Donald, I don't know. And shout out to Andy. We were just in the group chat, and he was saying at this point, if you can get off Renfro's contract and go get a Cam Akers, you do it. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, that's just a tough pill to swallow. If you're going to get rid of Renfro in that contract, $13 million is a lot to pay a guy that is not getting any reps on the offensive side of the ball. But I'm looking at the defensive side of things. If we traded Hunter Renfro for Cam Akers, that would look bad. Bad. That's why I say, if anything, wait till he gets released. Maybe we bring him in, but if not, bring our own guy, Sincere McCormick, up off the practice squad, and let's see what he can do. If I move on from Hunter Renfro, it has to be for draft capital or somebody on the defensive side of the ball. Period. I'm not trading a talent like Hunter Renfro for a running back too. Salute to my dog, John, man. For all the bickering and those trying to be patient at this point, don't we deserve a better product? We all have pros on offense and some dogs on D. I just want to win and do it mightily. Just effing win. Salute to my dog, John, man. And I agree with you, brother. I agree, man. I definitely agree with you, man. But we got to get together, man. We got to get together, bro. This offense has been underwhelming, to say the least, man. Week 1, I took it, right? It was an ugly game. I think they said something along the lines of there was only like 7 possessions or something. I forgot what Josh McDaniels said. It was a very strange game. I kind of chalked that up as we got the W. We escaped Denver with a win. Cool. Then you go out to Buffalo. You do play a stingy defense in Buffalo. They have a really good defense out there, even without Von Miller. But now, we're not. It's not going to get any easier, you guys. It's not going to get any easier. We're going to play Pittsburgh, a Mike Tomlin-led defense. These guys are playing phenomenal on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, they overcame. They won last night. They're 1-1. They're going to have some momentum going into Allegiant Stadium. I still think we're the better team, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong at this point. We said this, me and Wasted, the other day. We're going to see who this team really is this Sunday. You're going to see exactly who this team is, period. Whatever team shows up on Sunday, you guys, that is the team we're going to see moving forward, period. Salute to my dog, John, man. Let me get a few more of these supers in. Shout out to Pride and Purpose, my dog. McDaniels better put up a stamp on the Steelers game. He has not looked like a genius this far to me. I agree, Pride and Purpose. Graham better start disguising his blitzes. And for his sake, get us a tugboat in the middle of the D line. Factory outlet, Pride and Purpose. Salute to my dog, man. Graham has been very, very, very underwhelming. Real talk. Let me see. Shout out to Aaron, man. Good morning, bro. We look terrible against the Bills overall. I'm starting to think this is not the right coaching staff for the job, especially the DC. Put the rookies in, especially Tucker. I agree. Put the rookies in, see what they can do. But yeah, no, you're right. Look, you're right, Aaron. You know, I've always been an advocate for giving Josh McDaniels a chance. Give him a shot. You know what I mean? Gruden had, 4 years his second time around? Give Josh McDaniels 3 years. Give him this season and next season. If you can't get it done, move on. Move on. But yeah, I mean, up to this point, man, in the first 2 years, going into week 3, he has 7 wins up to this point. That's not going to get it done. It's not. It's not. So hopefully we see some type of bounce back game this Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers, because we're going to need it. There's a lot of winnable games moving forward on our schedule, you guys. We can beat Pittsburgh. The Chargers are 0-2. Yeah, they played some tight games. The Chargers are better than their record. Don't get it wrong. But it's a divisional game, so it may be a close game anyway. But those are 2 winnable games. You can go in and beat Pittsburgh, beat the Chargers. You got Green Bay, a Jordan Love led team, which has been feisty also this season. But you can beat them teams. There's a lot of teams coming up on this schedule, the Patriots, that we might be able to win. The Giants have looked like shit. They got lucky to come back against the Arizona Cardinals team, which is terrible. So there's a lot of winnable games. Josh McDaniels has to show that he can beat those type of teams. If you can't beat the likes of the Steelers who are struggling, the Chargers who are struggling, Green Bay, which is, on year 1 after Aaron Rodgers, so they're still in that rebuild mode. If you can't beat the Giants who are struggling the way they are, the Patriots who are 0-2, then, hey, man, you may be definitely correct when it comes to Josh McDaniels. There are some games up here that we're definitely going to see who this guy is moving forward. Salute to my dog, Aaron, man. Shout out to the 209. Salute to my dog, James Lillard, man. Need to stop filling DTs with late rounders. I agree. Next year, first, second round, you got to attack the defensive tackle position. Period, man. Shout out to my dog, James. I've been saying that. You got to go get you a DT early on. Let me see. Everybody wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, man, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We are talking about Jordan Schultz tweet out today that the Raiders are interested in bringing in the likes of Cam Akers. He would be a really good running back too. The Rams aren't utilizing him at this point. He is coming off of, last year, 3 straight games with 100 yards on the ground. He had a career year last year, so this would definitely be an upgrade to our running back room, especially with us not utilizing Amir Abdullah, only using him in passing situations, us not utilizing Brandon Bolden. He's only a special teamer at this point, and only putting out Zeus a few reps here and there a game. We need another running back that can come in and help with Josh Jacobs struggling. Let me see. Salute to Max, man, as well, man. We're going to be playing pissed off. Pittsburgh's going to be happy-go-lucky because of their W. We need to stamp Pickett and make him miss. He looked nervous when the pocket broke down. Factory, Max. He definitely did. Definitely did. But we can't allow this Raiders team to be the Raiders of the past and allow a guy like Pickett to come in and have a career game against us. He beat us last year in Pittsburgh in probably the coldest game the NFL has ever seen, but Pickett beat us last year. We can't allow him to come out and have a career game against this team, because look, at this point, you guys, if you lose to a Pickett-led Pittsburgh Steelers this Sunday night, I'm going to be real with you, man. I think all the energy, all the hype, all the momentum is gone. It's gone. It's gone. You have to win this game. You have to. Let me see. Yes, Skylar, I agree. If we lose our first home game, I have to say we will have a long season. But let's be clear. We should win this game 28-21. But we get Kareem Hunt, a great back that can catch and block. I would love to have him. Skylar, I said early on in the show, I do believe that he's going to return home to Cleveland. I know he was looking for a new deal out there. They had Nick Chubb at that point, and Kareem Hunt was the high end running back 2 at that point. But they can just literally just inject him into their starting lineup and they're good to go. It's not someone that needs to come in and learn the whole system and all that. He knows Deshaun, he knows the O-line. I think with him being from Ohio, I just think that, he's going to go back to Cleveland. I don't think it makes any sense. And, in the past, he did have he had a situation where it was a domestic violence type situation. And I don't know if Mark Davis would allow Zeke and Josh McDaniels to even bring him into the fold anyway. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I could be wrong though. Let me see. Yeah, Sparks. And I said this, man. It's clear these guys can't draft defensive tackles at this point. Unless Byron Young or Jade just somehow, some way break out this year. At this point, they've been proven to not be able to draft defensive tackles. You got to go out there and get you a stud. You have to. Period. Even our previous regime wasn't able to draft defensive tackles. In the previous regime before that was not able to draft defensive tackles. It's very hard, man, to find great defensive tackles in this league, you guys. It really is. It's tough. But at this point, you got to go out and get a proven one. Period. Let me see. What about replacing Graham? Talking about with Rob Ryan. I mean, Bob, I assume if Graham cannot get it done this year, they probably will be looking at another defensive coordinator. I don't know if they keep it in-house, but if he got fired during the season, it probably would be Rob Ryan's job to take over. I think he's like the senior assistant or something like that on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, he has, his tenure. Look how long he's been there. You know what I mean? Look how long he's been in the league. They probably would have the keys off to Rob Ryan, but I wouldn't be shocked even if they said, you know what, Antonio Pierce, our linebackers coach here. I don't know, but we have a few guys that if Graham does get fired during the season, they can definitely look at it. It would be Rob Ryan or Antonio Pierce. Let me see. Yeah, he is, Terry, but I guess he will not be missing the entire season. I know a lot of people were in the chat saying that he's going to be gone for the season, but it looks as though he will not be. Yeah, Desert, this is facts. Cleveland's going to be begging Kareem Hunt to come back. Yeah, facts. Let me see. Shout out to UA. Shadir Sanders can do it all. We need him for sure. Yeah, well, I mean, if he's there whenever we're drafting next year, that's definitely well, is he coming? Yeah, he's coming out next year's draft. That's definitely somebody to take a look at. But we still have a guy, man, that's sitting there on that bench right now, UA, in Aiden O'Connell. You know what I mean? That a lot of us liked how he looked in preseason and heard some great things from him out of training camp. So me personally, right? Yes, you need that future quarterback. And Wasted said he had a great point that, Sanders has always been pretty much coached by his dad up to this point, right? What if he doesn't look the same without his father around, right? That'd be kind of spooky. I want to give Sanders the rest of this season in Colorado to prove that he can be that highly coveted QB in this upcoming draft class. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, I'm going, man, it would be great to have that non-one dimensional quarterback, right? A guy that can use his legs and throw the football. But we just, defensive tackle, man. Defensive tackle. You know what I mean? Get you a defensive tackle in round 1, man, or go get you a lockdown corner, if anything. One or the other. You know what I mean? Wait until the second round. I just want some defense, dog. Salute them all, man. Young and Jade at DT Sunday. Illuminor at right guard. Mumford at right tackle. Needs something different on both sides of the line. I wouldn't be upset about that, Ma. Inject some youth into that D-line, in the interior of the D-line, at least. I mean, Tyree and Max are still fairly young. Still young. So, but I would love to see all young dudes out there in that defensive line. Put young Jade out there with Max and Tyree on the edge, or Malcolm Kuntz on the edge. I'm cool with that. Just a young defensive line. We are very, very old with the addition of Adam Butler and John Jenkins on that D-line. Like, real talk. It's actually nasty work right now in these Raiders streets when it comes to that D-line. Salute to my dog Maul, man. Salute to Black Sunday as well. Sad to say Zeus ain't it. Dude got 3 carries in garbage time and fumbled the ball. Facts. This is why I'm sitting here doing this live right now, Black Sunday, and looking at this Cam Akers situation as maybe it is a good idea to bring in another running back, you know what I mean, into the fold. But I'm going to ask you guys real quick. I'm going to leave this up to you real quick. If Cam Akers is cut, and we don't have to give up any draft capital for him, right? What are you doing? Would you rather sign Cam Akers or would you rather bring Sincere McCormick up off the practice squad and keep it in-house? Let me know down in the comments section. Sincere McCormick or Cam Akers? Yeah, bro. Shout out to Leon. We only get washed DTs in free agency and pick terrible ones in the draft. Maybe we should hire someone on the outside. Man, Leon, talk that shit, my brother. Graham, hey, he said, I'm giving him 2 weeks flat. I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Elite says you have to get our running back one going first. Maul says Sincere. AJ says 100% sign Cam. Sean says Akers and Josh Jacobs together. That would be a nice 1-2 punch. Definitely, Sean. Let me see. Cam Akers is injury prone. Reese Rock says get Graham out in 2 to 3 weeks. Cartel says Sincere McCormick. Raider Rich says Cam Akers. Yeah. I mean, look. Either way, we have some options at this point. It's clear, you guys, that we're looking at the running back position. So it looks as though we know finally whatever we have in-house right now is just not working. You know what I mean? I think at this point they're saying, you know, Zeus probably ain't the guy that we thought he was. Salute to John, man. Asked you a live or two ago, Graph, and wonder what changes we would make. This is what I was talking about. Rotate some players on the roster and experiment. They're going to have to, John. They're going to have to because what they're doing right now clearly isn't working. You know what I mean? Like, you know, get another running back on this roster involved. Even if Zeus isn't the guy, right? If Josh Jacobs is out there struggling, give Zeus some carries. Give him some carries. If Josh Jacobs is not looking good right now and you still have somewhat, you're still holding off some type of hope for Zeus, run the ball with him. Give him some more reps. This is a guy that you drafted in the 4th round last year. So if you have any kind of hope in him, run the ball. Because it's clear you're not going to hand the ball off to Amir Abdullah. It's clear you're not giving Brandon Bolden any reps. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? And on the defensive side of the ball, John, I agree. At this point, get the young guys active out there. Put Byron Young out there with Jade and see what those young guys can do in the interior of that defensive line. Bring Sincere McCormick off the practice squad. Something, man, because what we're doing right now is not working. Let me see. Yeah, and AJ, I agree with you, man. It's like we were so excited we're thinking we have this 1-2 punch with Austin Hooper and Michael Mayer in the first 2 weeks. It's not what we thought it was. At some point, if we know that Jimmy G struggles with the deep ball, right? And these defenses keep, you know, just flooding the box, right? Because they're not afraid of Jimmy G's arm. Then start getting these tight ends involved in those short intermediate passes. You know what I mean? Start, you know, more screen, just whatever you can do in a short game, do it. But get the tight ends involved. You know what I'm saying? Because they're stacking the box right now because we're struggling with running the ball and because they're not afraid of Jimmy G's arm. So at what point are we going to start saying, you know what, man? Well, we know Jimmy G's not, you know, a guy that's going to throw a million long balls. Let's get the tight ends involved. Where's Austin Hooper in the short game? Where's Hunter Renfrow in the short game? Where's Michael Mayer in the short game? If these guys can't get it done, where's Jesper Horsted? Get him involved. Get him involved. Whatever you need to do to get it right because these defenses, look at Buffalo. They stacked the box up against us. They were not afraid of Jimmy G at all, and they were not afraid of the run game at all. Period. Elite, yes. Yes, they're stacking the box. More play action rollouts need to happen. Something. Because they're not afraid of this run game at all. They're not afraid of Josh Jacobs because they know we're struggling, and they're not afraid of Jimmy G's arm at all. Let me see. Dyson, man, it seems like a very few of these defensive players ever improve. Seems like they're totally unable to coach them up. What do you think? This has been a thing in Raider Nation for years. Dyson, it's been a thing for years, and this is just it lets you know how poorly we've drafted in the past, man. You know what I mean? We've watched other team after other teams get better, build their roster up, perennial playoff teams. We've just struggled for years to draft the right players. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. We thought we had it right in 2014, right? We started showing signs of hope with DC in the second round, Khalil Mack in the first, I believe, Gabe Jackson in the third. But now it's like we have not been able to get it right in the draft. Yeah, we've had a few, bright spots with Max Crosby and Hunter Renfrow in the middle rounds. But like we have to figure this shit out. Josh Jacobs in the first. But like I said before, bad teams draft running backs in the first round. We have to figure it out, man. Like this draft class has to work for this regime, or they may be on the way out here in another year or two. Real talk. This draft class has to pan out. Let me see. Salute to everybody here in the building, man. Coaches got to change scheme to attack the box. Defense are being played against us. Salute to Jeff King, man. Salute to my dog, Raider Prophet, as well. Only reason I would consider a trade for Akers is if it involves Renfrow and a late-round pick. But I would elevate McCormick over Zeus, double tight end instead of Brandon Bolden. Look, I'm trying to see Sincere McCormick out there. You guys know how I feel about him. Like I said before, I watched him at the University of Texas San Antonio. Guy's a human highlight reel, man. He's very, very underappreciated in the passing game, but he got it done down there in the passing game as well, and he can run the ball effectively. He's a bowling ball, man. Like, I don't understand why we can't just put him out there and at least see what we got going if Josh and Zeus are both struggling in the run game. You know what I mean? I think it's time to elevate this guy. I still think that they're going to run Zeus and Josh out there this week. Josh is going to be out there regardless. He's our superstar running back getting paid $12 million. He's going to be out there, period. And they probably will elevate a defensive player, whether it's Isaac Rochelle. Well, they've elevated him twice. So I believe at this point, right? Isn't that the rule? They changed him so much that at this point you got to keep him on the active roster or I don't know. But I think that they may bring up another defender. Off the practice squad. I'm hoping that Sincere McCormick is elevated, though. Let me see. Salute to everybody here in the building, man. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, man, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. But this is the week, you guys, we have to put some pressure on their young quarterback out there with the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. We got to put some pressure on Pickett. They do not have a great O-line. Their run game has struggled mightily, you guys. They could not run the ball effectively at all last night. I'm going to look up these stats. I think Pittsburgh was in the hole in terms of run. They looked like us last night against that Cleveland defense. I think that Najee Harris was in the minus last night. Let me see. I want to look this up. I could have swore he was in the minus. Let me see. Boom. There we go. Box score. Najee Harris ended up getting, so before he was struggling running the ball, I think he was like -6 yards for a while, but he ended up with 43 yards on 10 carries. So they're still struggling getting the run game going. Jalen Warren had 6 carries for 20 yards. Calvin Austin -2, and then Kenny Pickett ran the ball for 4 times for -6 yards. So they're still struggling. They're still struggling to run up the ball and run the ball. And they gave up almost 200 yards on the ground yesterday, you guys. They gave up 106 yards on 16 carries to Jerome Ford. But I believe one of those runs was like for 69, 70 yards or something like that, right? And I think Deshaun Watson had about 20, 30 rushing yards as well. And then I know Nick Chubb had about 65, somewhere around there. So, but they gave up a lot in the run game yesterday as well. Salute to my dog, Raider Prophet, man. Salute to UA. They are not afraid of the deep ball. Teams will begin sitting on the short routes, and it's pick city. This offense doesn't work without the deep ball. Well, the thing is, UA, shit, man, it didn't work last year either with the deep ball. DC struggled. DC threw pick after pick. He was getting rid of the ball. He was flinging that shit all over the place. You know what I mean? So it's like, what do you do at this point? What do? You know what I'm saying? Last year we struggled with the deep ball. You know, I mean, we had some big plays last year. Don't get me wrong, but DC threw a ton of picks last year. So yeah, man. Look, nerve-wracking right now, man. Nerve-wracking watching this offense, man. Shout out to Michael, my dog, man, is in the building. It can't be JJ, the guy that half the fan base wanted to pay $15 million a year to. If JJ can't do it, it's obvious we're getting poor run blocking. DT is a must. I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. We definitely, at this point, you pay Josh. It's his job. Period. He's not going anywhere. He'll be a free agent next year. So, you're gonna run his kneecaps to the ground this year. Even if you decide on, if you're not gonna bring him back, you're just gonna run him just ragged. But yeah, man, we definitely need a defensive tackle, man. Desperately, because what we have right now is not getting it done. Salute to my dog. Dodgers, everything. Yeah, Browns definitely handed that game to him. I mean, man, look, they lost their superstar running back in Nick Chubb, man. I know at that point they kind of, the energy, on that sideline was pretty much gone. I mean, their superstar running back is probably done for. He probably won't come back. This is the second time that knee was blasted. It's going to be very tough for Nick Chubb to come back from that. And I think, watching your one of your leaders in the locker room, his leg looked the way it looked on that play. It's very hard to bounce back from that. And they still were in on it until that last possession of the game where Joey Porter looked like he got away with a PI. The Browns could have scored on that last series. Joey Porter looked like he got away with a PI. You don't have to have a constant deep ball offense. It comes down to Jimmy G hitting those seams. He's actually throwing on the outside. Salute to Elite. Elite with the heat as always. Let me get this off the screen. Let me see. Yeah, that kneecap looked bad, Daniel. It looked bad. Yeah, Leroy, he said a Meek had one special team rep. It seems like an easy cut to make. They keep bringing this guy back, man. Like I said before, I think he's the new Brandon Parker, man. He has some information that they don't want out. We out here. We play Nesta, put Tyree on the D-line, D tackle, and keep Kuntz on the edge, see how that works. I'm not against it. We out here. Not against it at all. Let me see. Salute to my dog, John, man. Just a thought. For a mastermind of a game plan planning coach, how have we not seen a blowout win? Riddle me that. Serious question. No cap. Yeah. Real talk, bro. And it's crazy because you look at a few games last year. Look at the Arizona game, week 1, 17-0. We actually were up. Should have won that game. I was there live. Almost threw up on myself. Terrible. You know what I mean? But you're right. I think the biggest win that we had was the Texans, John, I think, right? I know I was in New York for that game. We were at Peter Dillon's, and I was with Wasted and my wife and Hammer watching that game. I think that was like the biggest victory we had thus far with this regime. I could be wrong, but I believe that is it, right? It's either that or that second Denver game. You see. Van City, man, look, I know they're working on it right now because now he's just doing the most. He's all over the place right now on Twitter. He put Von Miller's phone number up today on Instagram and Twitter after putting up a post yesterday saying he was hacked. It's crazy, man. Andy, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. The Saints definitely have some content creators, man. Go check them out. One of them dresses up as a Raider fan. So go check it out. He finally got that stout defense that he's been asking for, man. He didn't even have to throw a touchdown yesterday. One pick, no tutties, still won that game. Salute to UA. Carr is trash and proving it again. I know, but his arm did open up this offense last year. He just couldn't make the correct reads consistently. Yeah, he struggled to get the offense down, man. Definitely, man. Let me see. Salute to UA. Hey, man, you're playing in the NFC South, you guys. To play Carolina and these teams that they're going against, they played Tennessee, which isn't really a great team. Hey. Salute to DC, though, man. 2-0. Once a Raider, always a Raider, man. Let me see. Yeah, that's the thing, Daniel. Trying to figure out. Hold on, what was that? What was that comment at? That's pretty much all the DC fans were saying was give him a stout defense like New Orleans, and he can go out there and play like shit and still win. That's pretty much what it is. Allow our guy to go out there and play like shit with the stout defense that can win you some games. The lob throws that he was making. Threw a pick in triple coverage yesterday. It was bad. But I'm not going to turn this into a Derek Carr show, man. You know what I mean? Look, let him do his thing. They're up 2-0. You know, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah, we definitely need to revamp our defensive line. Factory outlet. Let me see. Salute to everybody here in the building, man. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. We need to hold on to a turnover without a defensive penalty. We need to own time of possession. We need to make stops on 14 play drives. Those are the needs. And yes, and this is the thing, you guys, we're returning home, right? But I'm going to tell y'all something right now. You guys thought it was a struggle, right? Like with opposing teams coming in and owning our stadium. The Pittsburgh Steelers fan base travels very well. Very well. They're like the Niners. There's specific teams that travel very well, right? There's certain fan bases that are going to follow their team wherever they are. There's Pittsburgh Steelers fans everywhere. So do not get pissed. I'm telling y'all now, there's going to be a lot of yellow towels, a lot of yellow sprinkled in all over the place at Allegiant Stadium. It's not going to be an easy. This is not a home field advantage type things. I'm just happy that our team is back home on the West. They can see their families. That definitely boosts their morale to be able to see their kids and their wives. You know what I mean? And just get back home and get back to the time zone and all that stuff. But this is not going to be an easy game to win. It's not. This fan base travels very well. It will be probably 50-50 Raiders and Steelers fans. So at the end of the day, man, you know, especially with those ticket prices, man, I understand, man. A lot of us Raider fans come from humble beginnings. You know what I'm saying? We're not people that come from silver spoons and shit. You know what I mean? No one has the money to pay $300, $400 to watch their team play, you know, for a few hours. It's very difficult. Be real with you, man. This is no longer OCO. You know what I'm saying? Where opposing teams' fan bases refuse to go. Let me see. Yes, I will be out there. I'm flying out Friday. Yeah, Janoy, it is. It's a brutal road trip to start your year. Yeah, rough. Salute to Pride and Purpose, man. Put Tyree in as a 5-tech. NJS time. Apply pressure. Salute to my dog, Pride and Purpose, for always supporting the channel, man. I appreciate you, brother. He said put Tyree at the 5-tech. It's NJS time. Okay, not against that. Not against that, bro. Graham says, I'll be there with my best friend, a goddamn Steelers fan. Ken, make sure you hit me up in a DM, bro. Shoot me your number on IG, man. And me and Hammer and B and everybody gonna definitely link up with you, my brother. Goat meal, let me know, brother. We all got to link up, man. We all got to link up and get together. Salute to Michael. I believe the offense will get better soon. DA is a beast, but not having Jacoby hurt us. Raiders, baby. Facts, man. It definitely did. Definitely did hurt us a lot. I'm just hoping, man, that this offense, dog, like this offense has to get going this week. It has to get going. I know we're playing a stingy Pittsburgh Steelers defense, but we have to score. We got to put up at least 24 plus points on this Pittsburgh team. We can't go along the lines of another 10-point game, another 16, 17-point game. This is not how this thing works. You got to get that offense going. If you have a Josh Jacobs and a Devontae Adams, a Hunter Renfrow on the offense, and you're putting up 10 and 16, 17, whatever, respectfully, that's not going to get it done. It's not going to get it done. We got to put up at least 24 points on Sunday night against that defense. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Mika Fitzpatrick maybe questionable with that chest injury. Cam Hayward is out. You know what I mean? They still got TJ Watt. They still got a bunch of other weapons, Joey Porter Jr., but we have to put up points this Sunday. Because I'm telling you now, scoring 17, not going to win you a ball game. It's not going to win you a game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Scoring 10 points definitely is not going to, not to. It's not going to get it done. 24 points to me is the sweet spot. Put up 24 plus, you can get this W. You got to go out there and score. Got to go out there and score, man. Skylar, it is what it is. I look at it like this, right? Power rankings, I don't even look at them anymore. At this point, we're 1-1. We're lucky to be 1-1. So I just want to just keep tallying up these wins and let them operate the way they operate with those power rankings. I don't really care too much. Remember that standard is the standard talk. Apparently the standard is being soft as shit on the lines. And that's it. Look, in the trenches, you ain't never lied, Daniel. Definitely soft as shit. Cal, yes, Deontay Johnson will not be out there also. Just like he wasn't against Cleveland last night. Jeremiah says, I'm going to be honest, Docs. I'm struggling to see how we do against that Steelers team. Sucks, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at it like this. The Browns still put up 22 points last night on that defense. It's a divisional rivalry. It was in Pittsburgh, a tough place to play. Cleveland ran the ball effectively, you guys. They ran the ball effectively. You know what I mean? We got to be able to run the ball. You know what I mean? They put up 198 yards last night on the ground against Pittsburgh. We have to figure out a way to do the same thing because they struggled. But, you know, I mean, even in the passing game, Amari Cooper had 90 yards in the air on 7 receptions. You know what I mean? Their tight end have 48 yards on 4 receptions. Elijah Moore, 3 receptions for 36 yards. David Bell, the young kid from Purdue, 3 receptions for 27. Jerome Ford, who had a great game running the ball, had 25 yards in the air too. So they put 235 yards in the air last night. So that's telling me that we got to figure out a way to have that balanced attack. Run the ball, set up the pass. Run the ball, set up the pass. Because I'm telling you now, if we never get the run game going, we're going to lose a lot of games. We're going to lose a lot of games this year. We are going to lose a lot. We may lose more than last year if we do not get the run game going. Period. Thought 11 losses was terrible last year, you guys. If we don't get Josh Jacobs going, if this offensive line doesn't start blocking for him as well, we may put up 12, 13 L's this year. Simple. Sorry. Got to get the run game going. You have to get it running because we don't have a quarterback that can go out there and just completely win you games without a run game. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Jimmy G's not going to win a lot of football games without having a balanced running attack. You got to be able to go out there and run the ball with a guy like Jimmy G as your quarterback. You know what I mean? There's certain teams that can go out there and win games without running the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like Kansas City, right? They have a Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? There's certain teams that, you know what I mean, that can get it done because of who they have. You know, Josh Allen's of the world, you know, they usually don't run the ball a lot. They've won a lot of games with Josh Allen at the quarterback position. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we don't have that guy at the quarterback position. We just don't. We don't. And we knew this when we signed Jimmy G. Let's see. Sincal, I agree. Graphk winning cures all. Schittsburg is coming off a short week. But, hey, Buffalo is coming off a short week, Sincal. This is 2 weeks in a row we're getting a team coming off of Monday Night Football. Buffalo didn't give a shit. With one less day of practice, they came out and beat the shit out of us. So I don't really care about the short week, talk anymore because we just got completely blown out by a team coming off of a short week. This is going to be a get-right game for us. I hope you're right, brother. Raiders win 27-17 and go on a win streak. I hope you're right, brother. I definitely hope you're right, man. Man, I hope you're right. Let me see. I agree, Sean. I definitely agree with you. I'm not going away from that. Jimmy definitely put Tay out there to get smacked on that hit. Definitely. But the good thing is Devontae's okay. He will be playing Sunday. It could have been worse. But you're right. He definitely put him in harm's way with that pass. Definitely. Let me see. How do we rearrange an O-line that helped leading rusher? You know what happens? You don't let guys like McClendon Curtis leave. You don't allow a team like Seattle to pick them off your practice squad. You have a guy like McClendon Curtis, you put him on the active roster. That's how. I still can't believe they let this guy walk. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, he's a UDFA and blah, blah, blah. He's a UDFA for a reason. I like McClendon Curtis. I thought he would have definitely helped this whole line. Shit, where's Natane Moody? See if he can do something at this point. Shit. Sucker free. I'm not hitting the panic button at all, brother. It's week 2. You know what I mean? I just know we're coming off of a horrendous loss. And I know that, when you lose the way that we lost 38-10, it should have all of us on edge, right? We're coming off of a big win in Denver. We're thinking, okay, we're on the rise. And then you get blown out by Buffalo after they lost to a bad Jets team offensively. They have Zach Wilson at the quarterback position. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't think the panic button is hit. I just think we're all on edge because we don't even know what team is going to show up Sunday. I think that's kind of where we all are, right? Is what team is going to show up? Is it going to be the Raiders that went out the first series against Buffalo and scored easy? We know that first series was scripted. We know that, but it was very well scripted. You know what I'm saying? But is that going to be the team that we see? Or is it going to be the second series where we throw a pick, you know what I'm saying, in Buffalo territory and just basically give them the easiest touchdown ever imaginable? What team are we getting? So I'm not hitting the panic button because it's only week 2, but I am on edge right now because I don't know what team we're going to see. I don't know what team we're going to see moving forward. And that's the scary part. Is Josh Jacobs going to get going? Is Jimmy G going to be able to bounce back from that terrible game last week? Is Josh McDaniels going to be able to call a better game than he did against Buffalo? There's a lot of questions that, we're all nervous about right now. Is Patrick Graham, going to be able to have that defense ready to go? Who's going to be guarding George Pickens, a guy that put up 170 yards last night or some shit? I got to look this up. I could have swore he had 127. I'm way off. But 4 receptions for 127 yards, 1 tutty. He had a long of 71 yards. What corner are we going to put on George Pickens to not allow them to have that big play? You know what I mean? Because George Pickens is a walking highlight. He can go out there and have a 71, 80-yard play, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Who are we going to have on him? Is it going to be Jacorian Bennett? Is Marcus Peters going to be on him? Just a lot of questions surrounding this game plan going into Sunday night. Shout out to James. This frustrates me. Max gets double teamed, no pressure from anyone else. TJ Watt gets double teamed, yet pressure from everywhere else. Hey, man. That's what happens, when you've had a well-oiled machine like Pittsburgh. I think Mike Tomlin has only had 1 year where they haven't went to the playoffs under his watch. You know what I mean? So they've been able to draft well. They went out, TJ Watt, homegrown talent. George Pickens, homegrown talent. They got Cam Hayward. They traded for Mika Fitzpatrick that year from Miami and brought him over. He's a superstar now with Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? They have a well-oiled machine. Mike Tomlin knows how to go about his business. You know what I'm saying? So this is all about how we've drafted around that max pick. You know what I'm saying? Look, we've picked up some Malcolm Kuntz in the 3rd round. I thought that was a reach. I had Malcolm Kuntz as a 6th round guy out of Buffalo. I had him as a 6th round guy on my draft board. We took him in the 3rd. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't panned out up to this point because he hasn't got the reps. You go get Matthew Butler and all these other guys, right? The Neil Farrells, the Byron Youngs. Pittsburgh hasn't had a problem going out and getting guys to make TJ Watt's life easier. We've been bad. It's just been terrible year after year drafting. Let me see. No, he definitely gets held on every play. But, hey, you got to have another player to counteract that, to counterbalance that. You got to have another guy to say, well, our guy's being held. So what other guy's going to be mad enough to say, you know what? I'm sick of our superstar defense and getting held. I'm going to get to the quarterback then. I'm going to get to the quarterback then. What you need that guy on the defensive line that's going to say, okay, they're holding our guy. Well, I'm going to get to him. We don't have one of those guys. Bilal Nichols has been terrible. Year 2 in his contract still looks the exact same. Tillery has had his little, plays here and there. I know he has a sack on the year, but he's still not playing the run, not being able to get to the quarterback as much. Byron Young, haven't really seen nothing. And then you got Adam Butler and John Jenkins. It's like, who's going to step up? Who is going to step up? You're asking a bunch of journeymen, older guys, and unproven guys to step up for Maz Crosby. And a guy that you just drafted in the top 10 that hasn't been able to get it done yet in Tyree Wilson. Salute to Michael, man. Washington has a way better defense than us, and Broncos put up hella points on them. Jets have had a badass defense. We got whooped by a good team. We got whooped by a great team, Mike. Facts. Facts, brother. Facts, man. Salute to my dog. Real talk. We got whooped by the better team. Salute to Junior, man. Docs, do you think the Bucs open to trade Vita Vea? At this point, aren't the Bucs, they're 2-0, right? Are they 2-0? They beat Minnesota. Are they 2-0 or are they 1-1? That defense has looked pretty good out there, man. I'm going to be honest. That defense has looked pretty good for Tampa Bay. And Baker Mayfield has been all right. Yeah, they beat Chicago. They're 2-0. So up to this point, no. I think Tampa Bay thinks that they're fighting for something. That division is wide open. Atlanta's 2-0. Bucks are 2-0. New Orleans 2-0. Carolina 0-2. So I don't see them getting rid of any player especially a Vita Vea, a stature. If they're 2-0, realistically they can win their division this year. So I don't see them moving on from Vita Vea at all. Yeah, Baker's been a great fit for them. Their offensive line is not that great, and Baker's been look pretty good. Let me see. Yeah, T-Raider, the thing is this, man. There's no real reason to go out there. You're down 38-10, brother. You know what I mean? Like, there's no real reason to go out there and start flinging it around. And look what happens when you start flinging it around, right? Devontae Adams is out there late in the game and gets blew up. Thank God he's playing this Sunday, but that could have been really, really bad for this offense. When you're down like that, man, at this point, it really is just trying to establish the run. I was screaming, throw the ball. But it's like, that's just me emotionally saying there's still a chance, even if there's not, right? At this point, that late in the game, try and establish the run. Try. You know what I mean? Because you got to get it going at some point if you're going to want to win some games. You know what I mean? So, but I hear you though, bro. As a Raider fan that's still holding on to hope, you like, go out there and sling the ball around. But we were already getting cooked. We were already getting absolutely destroyed. Yeah, man. That's another player in Hunter that I've definitely been looking at. You know what I mean? But that's another guy you got to pay top-notch money. You got to pay top-notch money to him. And you just drafted Tyree Wilson. So the thing is this, if you go out and get a guy like Hunter, which I would love it. He's still young. You know what I mean? He's a dog. Minnesota's 0-2. I would love it. But you're pretty much saying we picked the wrong guy in Tyree Wilson. If you go out and go get the likes of a Chase Young from the Commanders or, a Hunter, from Minnesota, you're pretty much saying we shit the bed with our number 7 pick in Tyree Wilson. That's why I don't think that these guys go out and try and get another defensive end. I would love it. I'm waiting for them to make another move. But at this point, Raider man, I'm assuming if they do make a move, we need a running back 2, we need a defensive tackle. That's it. Simple and plain. We need a defensive tackle and we need a running back 2. Zeus ain't it, and none of them defensive tackles on this roster are it. Now, if you put Jade out there and he starts balling, then maybe we're on to something. But at this point, improve that interior, that defensive line, and go get you a running back 2, like a Cam Akers, or you just say, you know what, keep it in-house and bring Sincere McCormick off the practice squad and see what we got. Salute to my dog Midnight, man. As always, man. Might as well kick the tires on Sue. Can't get any worse. If you watched him last season, Midnight with Philly, he's a shell of himself. He's not the guy anymore. He can't get to the quarterback. His days are done. There's a reason why Sue Donkey Kong at this point is a free agent and still at home. And to be honest, I think he's going to end up retiring unless he does catch on with another team to go, later on in the season on a Super Bowl run. I don't see a reason why we go kick the tires on Sue. He can't get to the quarterback, and he's not even the same against the run that he once was. Salute to Pride and Purpose, man. Go sniff around the Cowboys, Phillies camp. Plenty of DTs. The thing is this, though, bro. You know what I mean? Pride and Purpose, it sucks. Yeah, you can go look at maybe their practice squads and see what they have. But, I mean, at this point, these guys are 2-0. You know what I mean? I don't think they're trying to move on from anything. But I hear you, though. Like, we can definitely look at those practice squads. I think that's what you meant because you said camp. Plenty of DTs. But they're whatever they have right now is working for them. That Dallas defense is phenomenal. That defensive line in Philadelphia is phenomenal with Jordan Davis and Jaylen Brown and Brandon Graham and shit, man. The list goes on. Hassan Reddick. I mean, these guys, it's just the talent. It's just endless on that defensive line. I don't think that either one of those teams are trying to get rid of anything. They're 2-0, and they're moving and grooving at this point. Let me see. Hey, I agree with you, bro. Like I said, I've said it. Look, you want to let me show you something? I have a video already drawn up right now. Let's keep it a buck. I got a video right now drawn up right now that I'm going to release here soon. I've been saying it. It's that time. It's that time to go get that superstar stud of a defensive tackle. But yeah. Salute to everybody here in the building, man. We're already over an hour, man. I'm going to go spend some time with my wife today, you guys. She's actually catching a flight back home to see family. So I'm going to go spend some time, go hit a movie with her or something like that. But I definitely appreciate you guys. I will be back later on tonight. Me and Hammer will be doing our call-in show. So stay tuned for that. We'll definitely try to get everybody involved. Make sure you get your calls in tonight. Let's talk about this Pittsburgh game. If you guys want to talk about the Buffalo loss as well, you guys call in, sound off. But other than that, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. Also, wipe them feet, meaning hit them thumbs up. Also, OakLosVegas.com for the merch. Go over there and grab some stuff. I got some new stuff up. PlanetRaiders.com. Go check out the new article today by Franklin Skinner. It's a great article. Yeah, man. Other than that, man, love y'all as always. Appreciate you guys. See y'all tonight. Wow.
That's what I'm talking about.